Hello everyone, we are group number 5 and today we are going to tell the story which is called The Three Magic Oranges.
I'm Zuleima Santa Maria and I'm going to represent the princess story.
I'm Monica Perez and I'm going to play the character of the princess.
I'm Alejandra Maria Contreras and I'm going to play the character of the witch.
I am Erika Giron and I'm representing the king.
I'm Jose Ticas and I'm going to play the gardener.
Okay, we are going to start with the fairy tale. Once upon a time, there was a prince who never laughed nor smiled. Among his people, he had the reputation of being a somber young man who seemed very alone. One day, a mysterious woman declared that she will make the prince laugh. She will make him laugh and cry, just you see. She dressed herself up in rags sewn together with pieces of string and let her hair fall loose down to her shoulder. Then she took a small drum and went to dance in front of the royal palace. On hearing the music, the prince appeared on his balcony. The woman danced and danced with such a passion that she did not notice the loose string hanging from her garment. Where she tripped on the string and fell to the floor in a heap. When he saw the woman fall, the prince burst into fits of uncontrollable laughter. When she noticed the prince laughing, the woman grew angry and cursed him by saying, "May you never laugh again until you find the three magic oranges." The prince suddenly became silent, and he felt a deep sadness growing inside him. This sadness continued for many days until he thought to himself, "I want to have fun and to laugh once more, so I will look the three magic oranges wherever they might be." And off he went in search of the magic oranges. First, he searched in all the neighboring villages, and then he went further and further afield until he reached the edge of his father's kingdom. Early one morning, the prince came across with the evil woman who had cursed him, but this time the woman was wearing beautiful clothes instead of rags that he didn't recognize her. "Where are you going, young man?" the woman asked. "I'm looking for the three magic oranges," the prince answered. "Oh, but they are very far from here," the woman said. "They are deep inside of a cave on the seashore, and they are protected by three fierce dogs. You must travel north until you reach the sea, and there you will find the entrance to the cave with large rocks."
The prince thanked the woman and then both three lifts of on his journey. After many days of travel, he finally reached the rocks and then discovered the cave hiding nearby. Just as the prince was about to enter the cave, a roaring dog came tearing towards him out of darkness. Without thinking of the threw the dog his first love and breath and kept on walking into the cave. A second dog was standing close by, its eyes glaring at him from out of the darkness. The prince gave his dog his second love and breath and continued walking farther and farther into the dark cave. A little farther still, the prince came upon a third dog, which was growling and slowly and looked set to attack. Just as before, the prince feared the animal his last love and breath and continued to explore the cave while all three beasts were occupied with their meals. Finally, the prince walked out of the darkness into a large room. In the middle of the room, there was a long table, and on the table there were three golden vases. Without wasting any time, the prince snatched the three vases from the table and ran out of the cave as fast as his feet could carry him. After running for many hours, he came to rest in the shade and until Free tried to open the first box. Inside, he found an orange, and to his surprise, it started speaking. Water, water, implored the orange. I need water, otherwise I will die. The prince wanted to help, but unfortunately he had no water, and so the orange soon died. The prince did not want to make a similar mistake with the second orange, and so he decided to continue on his journey. Just as night was falling, he arrived at the inn by the side of the road. He sat down and ordered food, a bottle of wine, and a jar of cold water. Only when he was sure that he was prepared did he decide to open the second golden box.
When he opened the box, he found a second orange. And just as before, this orange spoke to him in a voice full of desperation. Water, water, implored the orange. I need water, otherwise I will die. But in his haste, the prince poured wine over the orange instead of water. And at once, the orange fell silent and died. The next day, the prince left the inn and continued on his hometown journey. He traveled for many miles until he reached a river at the foot of a tall mountain. It was there that he decided to stop and open the third and final golden box. Just as before, he found an orange inside. And just as before, this orange spoke in a voice full of desperation. Water, water, implored the orange. I need water, otherwise I will die. This time, said the prince, you will not die from lack of water. Then he threw the golden box into the river so that the orange might drink all the water it needed. As soon as the box landed in the river, a huge cloud of white smoke appeared in the air all around. As soon as the smoke cleared there, appeared a young princess more beautiful than the sun. The couple embraced one another and instantly fell in love. Then, without hesitation, they made their way to the nearest village where they were married the very next day. The prince and princess were very happy, and soon a son was born to complete the little family. The prince said, we must visit the royal palace, as I have not sent news to my father, the king, and it has been almost a year since I set out on my quest.
Thus, the young couple set out on their long journey back to the palace. When they were close, the prince asked his wife to rest by a water fountain while he announced their arrival to the king. As soon as the prince was gone, the evil woman appeared before the innocent wife and child. You have a very beautiful son, princess, the woman said. Let me hold him so that you might better rest. The princess agreed, and the woman took the baby in her arms. Then she said, you have a beautiful hair, princess. Let me comb it for you so that you might look your best when you meet the king. Once again, the grateful princess agreed, but as the woman was combing the princess' hair, she stuck a silver pin into the back of her neck, and the poor princess was instantly transformed into a white dove. The evil woman, who was in fact a witch, then assumed the appearance of the beautiful princess and waited for the prince to return. It seems as if your face has changed, my dear, the prince said while he finally returned. Is there not also something about your person that is different? It is only the sun that has done my skin during our long journey, replied the witch. I'm sure it will fade in time. So, and if I seem different, it is only because I'm tired. The prince was fooled by the evil witch and so took her and his son to the royal palace, unawares that his precious wife had been turned into a dove. Life in the royal palace went on for some time, and the evil witch continued to fool the prince into thinking that she was his beautiful princess. But she had not fooled him completely, for the prince, um, for the prince did not feel quite as he has done with about his wife, and was convinced into the back of his mind that something was not right.
One day the old king passed away, and it was the turn of the prince to become king and rule the lands. In the palace gardens, a dove began to appear, and after many months, this dove started to talk to the gardener. Each day, the dove inquired about the young prince and the king. The gardener would tell the dove all he knew and confessed that the young prince was not a happy child and the king was not a happy man. The poor prince, said the dove, darling of his cursed mother, who is forced to live alone in the mountains as the bird you see before you. The gardener was most taken by the dove, and one day he reported to the king about the bird. When he heard about this creature, he commanded to the gardener to catch the usual bird and to give it to the young prince as a companion. The gardener did as he was instructed, and the prince received the dove and played with the magical creature for many days. It seemed to all in the palace that the young prince was finally growing into a happy child, and it was agreed that this change of mood was because of the bird. One day, the little prince noticed that the dove had a silver pin in the back of its neck. He reached and pulled out the pin, and the dove was instantly transformed back into the beautiful princess. The young prince was scared and cried out in fear, but the princess, freed at last from the curse of the evil witch, spoke softly to the child. Do not cry, my boy, said the beautiful princess, for I am your mother, and you have released me from my curse. Upon hearing his son cry, the king entered to the room and instantly recognized his one true love. You have returned to me, my love, said the king as he embraced the beautiful princess. The princess explained how it was that the evil witch had tricked her and turned her into a dove. The king grew angry and ordered the impostor queen to be imprisoned in the dungeons forever so that she might never do any harm again. United once more, the king and his true queen lived happily ever after for many, many years. The kingdom flourished and the royal palace was forever full of love and laughter. Thank you very much.